We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Today we continue on in wildcard weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans is lined up for the kickoff.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And a nice spin into some open field. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, they'll be long after him for those guys trying to play some defense.
Right back to him on first down. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Watch out. Detroit!
Now the first carry from LaShawn McCoy. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Detroit!
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Leopard! You got 3 down. Gone! Wide, get wide!
Coleman now. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
It's run, fellas, it's run!
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Alert! 3 down! Black 99 Philly, here we go!
Carry for Chris Ivory. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Throwing is Allen on 3rd.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. A 33-yarder from the left hand. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills' opening drive yields 3. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Check, 56.
Now first carry for Derrick Henry. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
3.
They keep it Henry on 1st down. And a short gain down to about the 33.
That's what I do.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Keep it rolling. Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. Space to run past the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big early football. Get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
One.
Mariota to throw it this time. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Mariota now. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Set. Where are they, team?
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
36.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is 3rd and goal.
Easy. Ready? Where are they, team?
Now this time he'll look to throw. And the Titans are in for 6. Touchdown.
Yeah, baby.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. Extra point put through by Suckup, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now here's Suck about to kick it away.
26, back to return.
Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Hey, we got 3,
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And credit the tackle to Cliff Avril.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
All right, now,
Line
lucky
of
56.
scrimmage, the
Lucky
37
56.
on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Coleman. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Check.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Detroit!
Well, they had
All right,
that
now,
one
lucky
sniffed out.
56.
Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz? And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Cliff Avril in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Over. Gun.
Now Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Bills are in for 6. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners. anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
Now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
One. Set. Wide.
2nd down, Mariota. Uncorks one for Davis. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And an alley to run. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Tight end right. We got three,
Here's Coleman on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 28 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
That was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Right here.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Overload. Easy. 18 loves to go deep.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Check 50.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Last stop. Set. Wide. 1. 6 right there. 1.
Mariota now on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Double tight. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Number 32 with the carry.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Watch him now, Barney.
Coleman fights him off. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Now Allen to throw on 3rd down. Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Watch him now, Barney.
It's Coleman here. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Barney.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bills will extend their lead.
Coach talked about those late in the half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long.
One.
From the gun, Mariota. And he's going to go down again. Now the Bills will take another timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on 1st down. This one away by the punter, Dar. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10.
3. Let him know.
Final play of the half here. Mariota going deep here for Bryant. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Extra point up and good by Suckup. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. They're scripting something that they expect to get into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
4 down. Keep it rolling.
They'll run it again with Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Tough carry now for Derrick Henry. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Taron Johnson made the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
One.
Play action to Henry. Here's Mariota going up top. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
22. One.
On 3rd down, Mariota steps away to his left. He can run. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose, and the Bills have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Odd. 5 down.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, boys, we got... No. Check. Patriot.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. Key the tight end.
This is Coleman.
Four down.
There he goes again.
Here they come.
And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
Now that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the defense.
Hey, we got four.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Lucky 56. Leopard.
Give it to him right up the gut. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's really a good defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. LaShawn McCoy, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Working out of the gun, Mariota, flush to his right. He's going to air it out deep for Green. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily.
And this is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Green, 37 yards. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point put through by Suckup. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. Here's Thompson to return it. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And here come the Bills. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, started to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 3 down. Detroit!
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down.
Play it.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Back now in Nashville. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Back 99 Philly.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Power on power, but he's not going to get in. No gain on the play. And it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Bills will extend their lead. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Ball through the tackle. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Titans getting set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing is Mariota. Going deep here for Bryant. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Undercrunch.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I'm without speech. They will run it in with Coleman. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. On the tackle, it was Dane Cruikshank. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen now on 3rd down. Being chased on left. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out come the Titans now. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
To throw Mariota. He's going to go up top again. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Three.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, was the one disrupting there defensively.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
One.
Mariota. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down near the 5. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up. Gun!
So after the INT, it's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And that might be Titan football. It is.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They've had mistake-free football prior. Dancing, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jerry Hughes able to get him for a loss of about 3.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Let's go.
They get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
3 down.
Now Mariota. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kyle Williams in there there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Set! Move it!
To throw is Mariota. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Bills are going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Go, 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 run!
That's the other issue, like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
So Allen's going to look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
All right, here we go. 3.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Jarrell Casey. He's the one to get in this time.
All right, now,
and
lucky
back-to-back
56.
sacks are
Lucky
going to
56.
bring up a 4th down.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Gun! Hot!
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here's Matt Darr now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.